Only Boost Mobile.
Boost Mobile?
We'll give you a free year of service.
Free year?
When you buy a new 5G phone.
New 5G phone?
Enough.
But I'm your hype man. When you purchase an eligible device, you get $25 off every month for 12 months with credits totaling 1 year of free service. Taxes extra for the device and service plan. Online only.
Avoiding your unfinished home projects because you're not sure where to start? Thumbtack knows home so you don't have to. Don't know the difference between matte paint finish and satin? Or what that clunking sound from your dryer is? With Thumbtack, you don't have to be a home pro. You just have to hire one. You can hire top-rated pros, see price estimates, and read reviews all on the app. Download today.
You open the fridge. There's nothing there. So what's it gonna be? Greasy pizza? Sad drive-through burgers? Dish by Blue Apron is for nights like that. These are the pre-made meals of your dreams. At least 20 grams of protein, no artificial flavors or colors, no chopping, no cleanup, no guilt. Keep the flavor. Ditch the subscription. Get 20% off your first 2 orders with code APRON20. Terms and conditions apply. Visit blueapron.com/terms for more.
Welcome to episode 84 of Winging It. Tyrick swinger. What a goal. What a goal. But before we get into any of that sort of stuff, we've just established that Albert doesn't know who Pitbull Mr. Worldwide is.
Straight in. We don't need any backstory. Albert doesn't know who Pitbull is.
Can I just say, before we address this, we had someone say that the first 10 minutes of this podcast is not for them, and they tried it, and this is why.
But we mentioned the winner against West Ham in the first 10 seconds.
Right.
So we've already hooked them, and now we can just take a little sojourn around Mr. Worldwide.
And now we're letting them swim off again.
Yeah.
Well, the conversation started by establishing that Pitbull was bored by choice, to which Albert's response was...
Good for him. Who the fuck is
50% bored by choice? Yes. Anyway.
Not entirely my choice, I have to say.
So we will end the Pitbull chat there, you'll be pleased to know. There'll be no misogyny this week, lads.
None.
No misogyny. I mean, there was no misogyny last week as well, and I think that's been firmly established now. But that made me chuckle on the BBS.
She won't be making that mistake again.
I have continued to lack in the beer department this week. Although I do have a beer that will please Albert.
There you go. There you go.
Albert's face is lit up.
Yeah, puts my Cruz Campo to shame.
Well, it's always the problem when you have people round. They always seem to bring things like Peroni or Beck's or things like that.
Yeah, well, they all go well with birthday cake, don't they?
I mean, happy birthday, Albert. For
happy
a few
birthday.
days belated.
What are you talking about?
Do you know when you said birthday cake? I thought you meant the birthday cake stout that Terence had bought me a couple of years ago, which was fucking horrible.
I could plop a bit of the birthday cake into my glass of Cruz Campo and see how that goes.
But it just blew my mind that, as I said, it's been a whole year since Hesketh stood you up at your last birthday party.
Yep.
Yeah.
A whole year since you started chanting speech. Really unnecessarily.
It was a big one. You needed to do a speech.
1 year bigger this year, mate. So it works.
Exactly. Right, we're going to start off with Opta. You know, the stats people. They have said that...
Are they bored by choice?
66% of the time, we will win the Conference League.
Say that again.
66% of the time, we're going to win the Conference League. The next closest is Strasbourg at 22%. That's your likelihood of winning the Conference League.
How can you only... Oh, okay. was going to say, how can you only win 66% of a competition?
No, 66% of the time it works every time. We will win the Conference League with 66% chance of winning it according to Opta stats.
Okay. I mean, sounds good.
I mean, it led me thinking, when was the last time we entered anything as the favourites?
God.
Away at West Ham?
I mean, like a competition as a whole. I was thinking maybe when we got relegated from the Premier League in 04-05, were we favourites to come back up as champions that year?
We weren't, but then we signed Darren Ward and John Mackham, and I reckon the odds were slashed.
Yeah, so Strasbourg 22%, Fiorentina 21%, Mainz 16%, Alkmaar on 11%. So, yeah, there you go. It's in the bag, basically.
Cruz Campo 4.8%.
I don't know what a Peroni is. It must be similar. No idea. I've forgotten how to read a bottle of beer, I think. But
it's because you're so used to reading the blurb before you get to the alcohol content.
Yeah, that's probably it. But yeah, I mean, I'm just obviously blind because I'm pretty sure it doesn't say it on here. There you go.
There was a thing on the Athletic today about sort of analysing Palace's unbeaten run compared to other teams in Europe. And it sort of went through the big leagues and said who else is in form and all the rest of it. And unbeaten. In League One, Strasbourg were on the list, albeit there are only 2 unbeaten. But then in the rest of Europe, AZ Alkmaar were on there, 10 matches unbeaten. And we've got to play both of them in the Conference League. So, or are they looking at it like, fucking hell, we've got to play Palace in the Conference League?
Is Alkmaar our first home game?
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
Yeah,
so that could be
that was a good one to get at home because they were out of pot 1. So, yeah, Strasbourg are good as well because obviously they've got the Chelsea gravy train going on.
Mm-hmm. Chilly here.
Chilly there. Chilly every fucking where.
It's like
they're all up in arms now, aren't they? Because their captains had held up a shirt saying he's going to Chelsea next summer, and they've all got the raging arsehole.
Well, we'll see how it goes. We've got Kiev before then, and the tickets went on sale today. Supposedly, the tickets went on sale only to season ticket some members with 6,000 points or more. Supposedly. Turns out that wasn't the case. All you needed was the link. And as long as you was a member or a season ticket holder, you could go in there and buy a ticket.
Yeah.
Anyone surprised?
Do you think it's Palace doing it surreptitiously? So we're all like, actually, the Ticketmaster system is really quite good compared to that.
But who is it? We were buying them through the Kiev site, so I know we can all roll our eyes and go, "Oh, another Palace success story." When it comes to buying tickets, but maybe there's a world where it's actually not Palace's. Not that it's a problem. People got tickets. I'm sure there'll be some stewards' inquiries if you had, a qualifying number of points and you don't get a ticket because there's been a pile on from lower tiers, I should say. But fuck me, how'd you sort that out?
Yeah.
Well, the good thing is it's in a basically empty stadium, given that Kiev fans aren't travelling in numbers. So, yeah, if they need to create overflow, maybe they can. Maybe they can't. I don't know. Maybe they've got a set amount of police. I don't know how it goes, but there's definitely going to be a lot of empty seats in the stadium. So if Palace are suggesting we can take another 500, another 1,000 or whatever, then maybe that will happen. Maybe it won't. No idea.
How did you guys get on with the validation codes coming in on time?
Validation code came in great on time. Did put my email address instead of my passport number in the document number. So I'm currently sorting that out with the box office. I did apologise to the person saying I'm sorry that I'm such an idiot. But
just buy another one. Free for all, innit?
I mean, I absolutely could have done that.
Yeah. My dad's bought 16.
What about you, Albert? Did you have
before we get
just to cover his back? How did you find the whole thing?
Well, I went into mild panic because I completely forgot, and I wasn't at my desk this morning. I had to go out, and then got to work at like 4 minutes past 10, and it was only seeing a flurry of messages from you lot, and then my Palace group with my dad and my brother, who have, we've all booked travel and hotel, but when we saw the points, it was like, okay, well, I'm getting a ticket for sure, and we're gonna have to see how it plays out with the other two. But 15 minutes later, everyone's got tickets. My dad's like, I've got 3. We were like, it's like, whose passport number did you put in? Oh, I didn't bother. I just got around that. It's like, oh, okay, fine. And now we've got a spare. But yeah, the instructions, even the instructions that came with the email weren't what you needed to do.
Yeah.
That's the bit that I found most confusing. It was like click authorize or something. You're like, what? Where's that? Yeah, I found it a bit confusing.
I was pretty lucky that Vanessa and I were both working from home in rooms next to each other, and she was on the dot, so she got through everything fine. Verification code came within a minute, easy, did everything. I was still stuck on where the fuck's the authorize button, and then she just shouts in, "You don't need to do that. Just get on with it." And then my validation code didn't come within a minute, so I was having a meltdown as I usually do because that's my brain. And she was trying to calm me down up until the point where she was just like, "For fuck's sake, forget it. Who cares?" And my validation code arrived with 8 seconds to go. So thankfully, in the end, I was right. And then I could look at all the messages coming to my other WhatsApp group of people panicking, just being like, come on, guys, chill out. We're getting so stressed out for.
Chill out here. No, but it was all good. And it's, I've had flights, but I've got flights, I've got hotel. Obviously, it's the last piece of the puzzle. And only now is it like, oh, fuck, it's actually happening and going. And
it's happening really soon.
As I said to my dad, I can't wait to get filled in by a gang of Polish riot police.
Something to look forward to.
Yeah.
Okay, right. Let's move on then. Millwall. What's happened since we last recorded? Obviously, draw 1-1, win it on penalties.
It's 1-0 when I left.
Yeah. I mean, it was a weird game. It was just like the FA Cup game, really. I thought Millwall, for large parts, were the better team, really, and probably deserved something out of it, to be fair to them. But they had a great chance at 0-0. I'm still not entirely sure that Benitez didn't save that with his foot. It was the wrong side of the goal for me, and it's not very conclusive on the replays.
From where we were stood, I mean, I was just in my normal seat in D, but the HF had put their banner at the sort of bottom of the stand, and it covered the bottom of the goal. Yeah, until he didn't celebrate, I thought it was in because I didn't know how he'd miss it. So I've got no idea if the goalie saved it or not, to be honest.
Yeah. We had some half time. Pino nearly scored early. Good save. Esse drove one at the goalkeeper. It sort of trickled to the goalkeeper. It wasn't really. It's to the second half when Richards scored, and it looked like it was going to win it for us. Before we concede the first of 2 near post flick corners in a few days for them to level it up. But my word, so you would have left by this point, Albert. all the game long, we was just saying all we got to do is just get one pass right in the final third, and we're gonna shred them open. And then finally, Kamada got one right to find Munoz, who puts it on a plate for Mateta, who somehow misses. And it would have. It's such a shame because the stadium would have gone off. It would have been quite the experience for that to have gone in, but missed. And as I tweeted after, Mateta missed, so Benitez water could shine.
Nice. Like it took me about 5 seconds for my brain to compute what had actually happened with that Mateta chance, because the pass from Kamada was unbelievable. Munoz put it on a plate, and I was like, "Well, it's a goal. It's just a goal." Yeah. And then I was like, "Oh, why is Mateta sitting on the floor with his head in his hands? That's weird."
What's this new celebration he's doing?
Yeah, go and kick a corner flag. Get up.
Oh, this Prodi's all right, It's very cold.
Welcome.
So I think we don't need to talk anymore about the game. Benitez saves 2 penalties, go through to the next round. Glasner, we're trying to win every tournament, so all good there. But obviously the big talking point of the game is Esse getting hooked at half-time, which has led to lots of discussion. And, obviously Glasner's been very vocal. Now, firstly, what did you think of his performance?
Me? Mm-hmm. I thought he was, to say, he was trying sounds really condescending because he's a professional footballer. Of course he's fucking trying. I thought my skipping to the end, I thought it was harsh to take him off at half time. Certain things weren't coming off for him, but I would say that most things in the final third weren't really coming off for anyone. I don't know if Glasner obviously had wider problems with maybe his tracking back or his work rate or whatever, but I think for a player, and he still showed some really nice touches and flashes in the first half. Obviously, he didn't in the second half because he wasn't there. I thought I hoped that it was he felt his hamstring, and we've taken him off to protect him. But I know there was lots of chat again in my family group and with you lot and people around where I sit. Did he deserve to go off at half time? It felt like it was a sort of 50-50 opinion in the people I spoke to. So I don't know. I thought it was give him another 10 minutes and then change it. But whatever.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like given what happened at Liverpool in the last game of last season, you would have probably optics-wise wanted him to have just 10 more minutes so you're not yanking him off again. Pause. But, Glasner, we should probably look into what Glasner has said because, we slagged off Roy Hodgson for laying into the younger players and, Glasner's done it again here to Esse, but he had so much more context and flavour into what he's talking about. And I thought his quotes are quite interesting. So even before the match, he was already talking about Esse because he was, had a journalist asking him. He said, "I've had many conversations with him, but I don't think it's a hard situation. If you're working in a hospital, you're a nurse and have an accident with injured people and you have to decide about life or death, then this is a hard situation. Playing football in the Premier League, getting a few pounds a week is a great situation. Then it's showing up, learning, improving. If you do this, you play regularly and are in a fantastic situation. I don't want to think anyone in our squad has a hard life because they don't know what a hard life is. This is a great life. Romain Esse is living a childhood dream. Now it's up to him to make the best of it. He gets all the support from everyone, but it's up to him. We can't do anything. The players have to do it." So he's already is this pressure, Hesketh? Is this added pressure on him? Because a lot of people talked about perhaps he looks scared to make a mistake, where obviously that's not good in Glasner's eyes because he wants you to make mistakes by trying to express yourself.
Yeah, I think from everything we know about Glasner since he's been here, all the players seem to want to play for him. He seems very infectious because he is so well learned. He's very good at putting his ideas across. Everyone sort of enjoys it. And I think the issue with Esse is partially what you said there, where he's a bit scared to do something. So by default isn't doing what he's being asked to do. But also something that Albert said about, like not chasing back and stuff. I think in that Millwall game, whilst, Pino didn't have a great first half, when he lost the ball, he went herring back after it and did a lot of sort of that kind of work. And Esse sort of didn't. Maybe he's in his own head and he sort of he's not maybe mentally strong enough to deal with it. But Glasner also talked about in the press conference before West Ham, which I watched because his press conferences are legitimately quite interesting as opposed to the normal boring shit you get. He sort of said he wants to draw a line under it because he's obviously been asked about Esse before and after. And I'm paraphrasing a bit here, but he was sort of like, I don't want to just point the finger. It's time for me to look at what I'm doing and what can I do to help him, whilst he obviously has to learn. What can I do to make that easier or make it more understandable? And he played for the 21s yesterday and scored. Yeah. And I think some people were saying playing for the 21s is a demotion and maybe that will knock his confidence even more. But, I'm sure Glasner's had plenty of conversations with him. So it's a shame because I want him to do well. I wasn't that upset he was taken off at halftime because I thought he was having a bit of a shit game. But that, if the line's been drawn under it and they both sort of reset, then hopefully we don't have these conversations in future.
Yeah, it was interesting, funny during the game that the Millwall fans were getting into him and the Palace fans started singing Romain Esse, he's one more than you. It was quite amusing. But after the match, I got some quotes here from Glasner. He said, if you sub someone at half time, then you are not pleased with his performance. You have to perform. It's simple. Football is not so difficult. When you get your chance, you must perform and show that you can help the team win a game. If I have a feeling that a player can help a team to win a game, he'll get many minutes. If I have a feeling that a player does not help the team to win a game, he doesn't get any minutes. It's up to him. He's a nice guy and I like him as a person, but I'm no priest. I'm not getting paid to be a nice person. I'm getting paid to win games. It's up to the player to improve. He's reacted well. I don't want to talk about Romain the whole time. I will talk to him in person. It's up to him to show. Let's see. And then later in the week, Ken just continued. He spoke to Bobby Mancy this time. And he said, I wasn't pleased with his performance, but I will always start with what I did wrong to put him in the situation. So sort of alluding to what you said, Hesketh. It's easy to blame him for everything, but we all play our part for things to be where they are now. We have to find a solution together so he can help the team win games and score goals. Sometimes you hug him more or kick him more. Everyone must fulfill their job in the position. That is my responsibility. If a player doesn't do this, they can't play. No player plays for Oliver Glasner. Every player plays for the team. You have jobs in and out of possession. Every system works if you do those. And this he goes on to say, Thierry Henry once mentioned that when he played for Barcelona while Pep was manager and Messi played in the false nine, Thierry had to run diagonally into a gap when Messi dropped into midfield. But he didn't do this and Pep subbed him at half time. You have to do your job, then you get the reliability. And then going back to Esse saying, if you have 20 sprinting meters in a cup game against a championship side, you are not competitive. The game is too quick for this. So he's clearly looking at the stats. He's looking at the performance with his eyes and he's looking at the stats and he's going, he sprinted for 20 meters. And as you talk about Pino, blue ass fly all over the pitch, chasing things down. Look at West Ham, where he got himself injured, tracking back 100 yards to make a tackle as the last man in his own penalty area. Mm-hmm. It's Romain's really got to be looking at that sort of stuff and, yeah, taking a leaf out of that book. But yeah, I feel for him. But hey ho.
You'll feel worse for him when he's in a Charlton shirt.
Albert, do you want to talk about Uche or Convo? Which one do you want to talk about?
Oh, well, if we talk about Convo, this could be a long one, a long convo.
Bang.
I mean, I've never seen. Listen, we have to. Everybody, calm down. It's a League Cup game against the lower league opposition, albeit a good one. They played well on the night. But fuck me, that Convo looked like he's been playing football for 40 years. Just an absolute fantastic performance. And, all the talk of, well, he he's not the replacement for Gahey. You know, he's a one for the future. I mean, if he plays like that every week and carries on in an upward trajectory, fucking let Gahey go now.
We'll just release him on a free. Fuck him.
But like I say, let's not get carried away.
Yeah, brilliant performance. Just complete natural. He just glides. He just doesn't move like a centre back at all, but can defend like one. And strength, pace, really comfortable on the ball. Just everything you want from a modern day centre back. And yeah, you just again with Glasner leading him, you can just only imagine that he's going to turn out to meet every inch of his potential. And looks like we might have another superstar on our hands. But let's not get carried away.
I mean, I feel like he's like the reverse Lerma. Whilst Lerma's a centre midfielder who can drop back into defence. Again, based on that performance, Convo looks like he's a centre half who you could, if you needed to, you could say, right, you know, you're playing holding midfielder in the middle of the park today. If we ever were in such a crisis, he just looked very, very assured. He's great.
It's like the new age Gyro Riedewald.
Like I said, let's not get carried away.
And someone else who can play loads of positions is Uche. What did you think of his performance, Hesketh, and his big ass thighs?
I mean, his thighs are very big, to be fair. I thought he played pretty well. He did things that I wouldn't expect of him. You know, he has a nice sort of drop of the shoulder and went past a couple of players twice. He falls to the floor a little bit too easily for my liking and has a bit of a roll around, which for someone as big as him, I think just bundle past people and you might get something. But hopefully that's just him getting used to the league and whatever. But it always feels like we're saying they're not good players when you're like, oh, they bring a bit of a chaos factor. They just sort of get in there and mess it up a bit. But I think he's a good player, obviously, but it's just a really good option to bring off the bench, where you can see him go past people, muscle past people. You know, I think against Sunderland he dug out a really good cross when he came on. So I think it's going to be a little bit of sort of seeing where he fits best. I mean, I had assumed it would just be as a 10, but obviously he's a big guy. He's played up front in Spain. You can see why, because he's a big guy to aim at. So I think it'll be good. I think it will just maybe take a few more games than Pino for him to just sort of settle into where we want him to play. I could definitely see why we wanted to bring him in.
Yeah. He's played defensive midfield as well. Played as a central midfielder, so he's across the field really. And I loved how direct he was. Direct, strong. Yeah, I think once we're all on the same wavelength, things will start to turn really good, because that's, I think to the start of last season when everyone was getting used to each other, we were working out how to slot Sarr in and make it work and stuff like that, and you know how you play Esse with him and all of that. And eventually we got there 8 games in or whatever. So if you think 8 games into the season is your marker point for them going to be on the same wavelength, difference is this season, a bit like last year, we haven't really turned up this season yet. I mean, Villa don't count because we always smash Villa. So
Because it's Villa.
it's just Villa. Come on, lads, it's Villa. So I don't know. We're 5th in the league or whatever we are. We've barely turned up and we haven't put in a solid performance across 90 minutes yet or anything like that. So once it actually starts to click.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's the same as last year, isn't it? We didn't turn up. I mean, obviously for different factors, you know, the summer competitions and, you know, late signings and general fatigue. But, you know, we didn't turn up for quite a few games at the beginning of last season, but we were losing them.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
I think the difference this season is that it's like Liverpool this time last year. It's like, well, they're not playing that well, but they're grinding out the wins, and you know, and then they kicked in and started brushing teams aside. And if we can keep people fit, if we can get Sarr back, you know, obviously Nketiah is already back. If we can get these little niggles back into the team, and then it starts clicking and the new players settle, you know, you like to think that the sort of congested fixture list that we're going to have, you know, hopefully doesn't take as big a toll as I expect it to. If we can get everybody bedded in and fit, then we could find ourselves on an enjoyable first half of the season.
Outrageous. We'll get into predictions later. And the last thing on the Millwall game, excellent work from the admin on the socials, Hesketh, with the go get the Nathaniel Klein tweet.
Brilliant.
Brilliant work. Lovely stuff. And then we go on to the second half of what I called last week. What was it? The Green Street week. Got West Ham. I was the last seat before you get to West Ham fans in the away end. So I was literally right on the barrier. And in what was a very, very weird and bizarre atmosphere, very quiet, even from the Palace fans for a lot of it as well. It was a very, very strange atmosphere. There was lots, you could hear a lot of abuse going back and forth across the barriers, even to the extent you could almost like form cussing partnerships with people across the way because it was so quiet and you could hear what everyone was saying. Some people getting really riled up with the copy and paste Essex boys that were over the other way with their greased up side partings and all of that. It's very amusing.
Naughty.
Yes. Naughty. Lots of being offered out outside, being told we run from Millwall. It's like, we can't even get near Millwall. Run from them. I was queued up for 30 minutes because I live on the Whitehall Road side of the stadium. Couldn't get to that side of the stadium. Found out after I could have walked all the way around the main stand and gone up Whitehorse Lane that way. But yeah, first tried to go down towards Norwood Junction, wouldn't let me through there before sort of going back up Park Road and just waiting for them to walk past effectively. Pain in the backside. But West Ham are obviously in a bit of a mess.
Mm-hmm.
Go there expecting to roll them over. Probably should have done more comfortably, but got there in the end. No real big chances in the game early on. I think Pino showed that he is quite good in the air early on, nodding the ball back across goal to Kamado, who headed wide. He's definitely got a bit of a leap on him.
He does. Definitely does.
Well, probably don't at the moment, considering the picture he's just put on Instagram of him in some kind of like leg, not brace. What is it? Kind of like a cuff of some kind, isn't it?
Yeah, some compression thing.
Yeah, more mystery. And it only really kicks out. I mean, Palace had a whole bunch of corners, and it was from the sixth one that we score. And Mateta's 50th goal for Palace, Hesketh.
Only Boost Mobile.
Boost Mobile.
We'll give you a free year of service.
Free year?
When you buy a new 5G phone.
New 5G phone?
Enough.
But I'm your hype man. When you purchase an eligible device, you get $25 off every month for 12 months with credits totaling 1 year of free service. Taxes extra for the device and service plan. Online only.
Avoiding your unfinished home projects because you're not sure where to start? Thumbtack knows home so you don't have to. Don't know the difference between matte paint finish and satin? Or what that clunking sound from your dryer is? With Thumbtack, you don't have to be a home pro. You just have to hire one. You can hire top-rated pros, see price estimates, and read reviews all on the app. Download today.
Yeah, a great milestone. Not one that I think any of us saw coming in the first year and a half that he was here. Mateta 1.0, who was missing the chances like he did against Millwall. Yeah, I mean, it's good. I mean, we look good putting corners in now. And it's good that when we're playing a team who's shit at defending them, and I'm not talking about ourselves, that we take advantage of it. But it was weird. I agree with the atmosphere. It was a really weird atmosphere. It was like a pre-season game from both sets of fans. And I was basically directly behind you. I was sort of 5 or 6 rows behind you. So I was next to them lot as well. And even when Mateta scored, like obviously you celebrate, but it just felt a bit quieter than normal. I don't know if that's because people thought he was going to get disallowed by VAR, which is fair enough. But it's just odd. But yeah, look, we had sustained pressure with corners and took advantage of one, which is great. One thing I also really like is when a defender tries to clear the ball off the line, doesn't, so it goes in and then ends up falling on their ass like Maverick.
Did you see the net cam for that?
I did.
And there's just a moment where his face is just like in the bottom right corner, like trying to hook it out. It's great.
It's just, it's one of my favourite things in football.
Yeah,
so enjoyable.
You got another close up of Mateta shocked that the ball was coming towards him, and he just like did a big like O face. Like, his coach, remember it was against Arsenal at Selhurst a couple of seasons ago. He had the same thing. All of a sudden, the ball just deflected into his path, and he was like, "Shit, I'm going to score." Love it.
Do you think the strange atmosphere? I know it was away, but do you think the strange atmosphere might be something to do with the fact that not everyone's got their head around the new halftime challenge at Selhurst?
Oh yeah, that's a good point. We should have. I
I'll
didn't
tell you
talk about that because I'd missed it at Forest.
I'll tell you, definitely think I have to get their head around it is the dad.
The
Palace had a go against Millwall. Fuck,
Shocker.
So disgusted were you that you left early, Albert?
Mate, I got rumbled for leaving early as well. I left. I was like, I'm knackered. I've got to drive. I'm going. We've clearly got this in the fucking bag. And then as I left, I got a message from my brother saying, "Have you gone?" Because it was quite apparent on TV because my seat's really easy to spot. He was like, "You fucking left early." I was like, "Shit."
Oh yeah, penalty shootout in focus.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that halftime challenge is shit, by the way. Not about it. I wonder if it's come about because of the whole situation. Who was the goalkeeper? What team was it again?
Villa. It was Villa, wasn't it? Olsen, yeah.
Olsen, yeah. Maybe that's why. But it's rubbish anyway. We can do better. But anyway, that 50th goal puts Mateta 23rd all time. Albert, he is one behind the Andy Gray.
Wow. I mean, I'll be honest. I'm, considering that, I hate him, apparently. I am surprised it's only 50. Seems low. Needs to do better.
B minus.
Yeah, but,
Well, say
it's weird, though, because I was going to say, it feels like he scores all the time under Glazer, doesn't it? So it does feel like, he must have scored more than that.
No, he does go through little patches where he doesn't score, does he? And then he goes through hot patches. Like 50 feels about right. 8 more to level up with Chris Armstrong. And if he pushes 20 this season, he'll be teetering on the top 10 all time. So, yeah, getting close. Then we end the half with West Ham breaking away. Probably was offside as well, but Pino tracks all the way back, puts in a block tackle on Wilson, and he ends up having to go off because of the injury that's created. No news as of yet, which means probably tomorrow lunchtime we'll find out what's wrong with him, just as the podcast has been recorded. Hopefully it's nothing too bad. Because I think we've talked enough about it. We're definitely a bit excited about what he offers, not just in his ability going forward, but his tenacity and stuff like that. So, hopefully not too long out for him. But at least we have Sarr coming back the other way now, coming back from injury and will be available for Liverpool. So that's good. Into the second half, Lacroix hits the bar. Albert, do you get the impression that if Lacroix puts this away from the Wharton corner, could have been curtains for West Ham and they might have fallen apart?
Curtains or side partings? Which one? I just enjoyed you saying Lacroix hitting the bar. I really hope that would continue. Checked by VAR, something like that. I think if we extend our lead, I think if we'd have scored a second, we'd have scored a third because West Ham are just proper capitulators at the moment, and they've had free put past them quite a few times this season. So that might have been game over, but.
Yeah, but it definitely caused a bit of a momentum shift. I think that's exactly what Glasner might have called it as well. And there was definitely like a 15-minute period where it felt like, well, maybe Potter's not done here, like maybe they are still playing for him and stuff like that. Because they had a little bit of a fight in them. Bowen scores from the corner, Wharton is caught completely flat-footed, ball watching, not really knowing what he's supposed to be doing there, perhaps. And Bowen steers it in, and they put on some pressure, and it definitely did feel like we're under pressure. It's the first time I remember being nervous. Well, probably since the closing few minutes of Fredrikstad, to be honest, in the second leg. But even then, on the counter, we kind of created chances. I think like Munoz done some like scissor volley at the back post that went a bit wide. Mateta headed over a Wharton free kick that he really should have been scoring with. I mean, should have just nodded it back where it came from, and the keeper would have had no chance. Completely open goal there. And at the other end, Paqueta is it cleared off the line by Richards? Probably going wide, isn't it? Just going a bit.
It's going wide, 100%.
Yeah. Before Tyrick Swinger makes it 2-1, I mean, it was such an innocuous goal. Like, the ball came in, there's 2 West Ham defenders under it, so you just feel like, it's just going to be cleared. And then all of a sudden they crash into each other and the ball is looping up. And you see Ty shaping up to volley it, and you're just like, I was getting ready to catch the ball behind the goal, to be honest. Only for him to, I don't know, draw on his inner Zinedine Zidane and smash the volley in the top corner.
Bang.
Great finish. Really, really good finish. I saw a good interview with him where he was just like, in training I shanked them. I just didn't want to shank it. So I was really concentrated and I was really happy I got the good connection on my wrong foot. And then the Palace interviewer goes, "What about the one on the edge of the box on your right, on your left foot?" And he was like, nah, that was far out. That was maybe the halfway line.
Yeah, I mean, that in itself is a poor cutback from Munoz, because he should have just been slotting that across the Mateta for a tap-in, to be honest. But no, and it's just so adorable watching Ty score. Doesn't know how to celebrate still. It's just Mateta just launching him in front of the Palace fans was quite funny and awkward, but it was just, a phenomenal goal, really, all things considered, from Mitchell. And that there was more celebrations for that one than Mateta goal, that was for sure. But then after that, it was kind of like, would we add more goals was only the real question, because they never really looked like doing anything. I think Lerma had one save, curled one over. We've already talked about the Thai one going over. Deveni curled a shot just over that looked like he might be wrapping that into the top corner. And then we get Eddie Nketiah comes on, and he comes in and plays in one of the 10 positions. Good little cameo, Albert, from him, I thought.
Yeah, I think so. I didn't really appreciate. I didn't go to the game, as we know. It was my birthday on Saturday, so I was kind of half watching, and like going back to the Mitchell goal, I looked up as whoever it was about to shape and hit this volley. And I didn't know it was Mitchell until I saw the celebrations. But yeah, from what I saw from Nketiah, he's a good that front line. With the additions we've made, when everyone's fit, we've got good options there. And I think Nketiah needs, a bit like Esse. I think he, as we learned last season, he needs a bit of a run of the games. If he comes on and does 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there, he's not going to look good, because he's a sort of player that needs at least, he needs like 3 chances to score, and you'll be ruining the other 2, because he does sort of spurn decent chances. So I think I thought he looked quite tidy. He certainly looked fit. It didn't look like he was struggling. And again, I think it's just good to see the options that we've got. And despite losing Eze, of course, we've definitely bolstered numbers and quality, across the board. Obviously, Eze is an immense talent, but we've definitely brought in equal amounts of talent, but spread across several people. Is how I would put that. Just got to keep them all fit.
Yeah, you've got to think that Nketiah is going to get a run of games at some point, because Mateta is just going to be knackered. He can't play every week. And maybe that comes in the Conference League, is where he gets his run-outs. You can see Nketiah scoring a lot of goals in that. So it'll be interesting to see how Glasner approaches managing minutes across that front line, or with anyone really. It's easy enough with the middle 2 in the centre mid, because we've got enough options in there and you can rotate them around. Back 3 will be Obviously, Convo's a nice one to add in there. Chaddy Riyad's made the Conference League squads, which is suggesting he's going to be back soon. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how he gets rotated around. But
Someone's got to drive the bus.
yeah. And then the last bit of the game, which is in injury time, Paquetá nodding the ball past his own goalkeeper in what turned out to be an inspired bit of play because his goalkeeper was in no man's land, only to then retrieve the ball and then punt it straight down the field to Dean Henderson was probably my most favourite part of the game. Just like... And also, he's never escaping the allegations. It just looks like he's trying to get booked at every single interaction he has in the game.
Yeah.
Just, he's such a little shit ass. But yeah, there you go. And then what's beautiful is a great Twitter moment after the game with David Sullivan's missus getting into it with an account called West Ham Central and just having a full-on Barney with each other on Twitter when after the West Ham Central account had messaged them to say, can you tell your boyfriend to sell the club? Or something along those lines.
I saw another thing on Twitter after the game where, West Ham had protested before the game. And they're outside the ground doing their protest, but then the team coach comes past, so they all start clapping and whatever. It turns out it was the Palace coach. So Dean Henderson replied to a video of that from a West Ham account going, "Thanks for the welcome, lads. Red and blue hearts."
Yeah. Although saying that, we did deface our own coach once.
Yeah.
So not really sure. We're ones to talk. Okay, and then that brings up Liverpool next. So this is a chance to equal our best unbeaten run in the history of the club at 18 games. Oh. This is currently the fourth best unbeaten run by a top flight team since the formation of the Premier League. That is not a top six club. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, it's impressive considering who it is. Never thought we'd get this.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah. So, look, I'm just going to say it. I think we're going to do Liverpool on the weekend. Let's just get that out of the way.
As we're talking, as we're recording, it's Tuesday evening. They've just scored with 5 minutes to go to beat Southampton 2-1. But Ekitike scored the winner and was on a booking for punching the ball away when he got a foul given against him. Took his shirt off in celebration and has been sent off, and apparently is now suspended for the league game.
Absolutely right. He'll miss Saturday.
So it's only Isak that's playing. That's fine.
You say luckily they're luckily for us they're really struggling up front. So.
Yeah. Well, Ekitike did score against us in the Community Shield, so. Although saying that, did Isak score any of the goals in that 5-0 thrashing that we faced up at Newcastle, which I think is the last time we lost?
Yeah.
I know.
Yes.
I've watched Liverpool this season a few times now. I don't think they're very good. I don't know how they're 5 games. I don't know how they've won all 5 games in the league.
Well, I just saw a graphic that was basically a list of all of their goals after within the last 10 minutes of the game, and it's basically that. They're just scoring loads and loads of goals at the end of games.
Yeah, they score, but they as Mark Gay will probably say, they're weak at the back. So I think it might be a case of we've got to try and score one more than them.
Yeah, it's like Manchester United back in the day when they were really good, right? It's not that it's luck from a Liverpool standpoint. I think that is a good display of quality and depth and being able to bring on great players from the bench. So when everyone else is tiring, all of a sudden you're just chucking on fresh leg, world-class talent over and over again onto the pitch. So yeah, it's like I'm kind of being a bit flippant. Obviously Liverpool are a good team and it's going to be a very, very challenging game. But much like in the Community Shield, we've shown we can mix it with them, and I don't see why this Saturday should be any different.
And Sarr's definitely back, or we're expecting him back?
I believe he's back.
Yeah, he's expected to be back in the squad. I don't know that he'll start, but
Well, you mean Wharton was going to be out forever, and he played a full 90 minutes the other day, effectively, or close to it. So
yeah,
and yeah, and long live the unbeaten run. And we can't lose them because we can't fall too many points behind in the title race, which should get us into our predictions for the season, because we haven't done them yet. But everything is now said and done. We've got all the players in. We know what tournaments we're playing in. So it's time to go. What will we start with? Okay, we're going to start with goals. We're saying all competitions here. Goals in all competitions. So, Hesketh, kick us off.
Unsurprisingly, I'm going for JP.
Yeah.
17.
Okay.
Which might be a little conservative with a small C, but I think we've talked about Nketiah getting more games and that sort of thing. So I reckon 17 is my shout.
Okay. Albert, who you got?
Well, yeah, I've got Mateta, and I wrote down 16 when I thought it was league only, but I've actually got in brackets with an asterisk next to it, 21.
Ooh, I'll take it.
Which is, believe it or not, exactly how many I've got for Mateta as well, 21. Yes. So we'll see how that goes. Assists. Albert, who you got?
I've got Sarr, which I'm very keen to hear if he's back on Saturday. I've got Sarr with 8.
Okay. Hesketh?
I've also got Sarr. I've gone 11.
Okay. I have gone Daichi Kamada with 10.
Those passes are starting to come off for him, aren't they? Mm-hmm. It's only a matter of time, T.
Okay, good. Clean sheets, league only this time, please. I will kick us off. 15.
Jesus Christ.
Albert?
10.
I'm in the middle, 13.
Okay, nice. League placing. I mean, this could be my outrageous predictions.
Go on, kick us off.
Albert, go on.
Well, I'm gonna try and ground us in some sense of reality.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say 10th.
I hate to say this, I've gone more positive than you.
Oh shit!
I reckon 8th. I thought I was going to be like the prick that didn't have us in the Champions League places in this pod here.
Now, Hesketh, we were obviously with each other after the game in Crate Brewery on the weekend, and you know what I said. What was it I said?
Shit. Hang on a minute, because I put it on my Instagram. You said we're in the mix for this season, and then my mate said the mix for what? And Terence says Champions League minimum.
Minimum.
And then to be fair, I got a reply on my Instagram from friend of the pod, Dave. Not Miserable Dave. This is Dave Moore. I heard this 3 times at halftime. So I think you're well and truly back in Champions League minimum, T.
Yes. So I really thought long and hard about putting 3rd, but I've gone for 4th instead.
That is fucking outrageous. That is outrageous.
Now, I just... It's gonna. That's obviously comes with a lot of do players stay fit?
Mm-hmm. That applies to all of them.
Yeah, no, of course it does. Of course it does. But if we have a lucky season with injuries, can't see why we don't win it all, mate. Win everything.
So I know this isn't the point of this exercise, but who are the 3 above us?
The 3 above us would be Liverpool.
In no particular order, you can.
Yeah, Liverpool, Arsenal, Manchester City.
Mate,
yeah, I'll take it.
I'm with you.
We'll see. We shall see. but I just think we're very, very good. More than very, very good.
I think we're very, very good. 8th.
Okay, player of the season.
Oh, hang on, I can't remember what I put.
Okay, then Hesketh, you can shoot.
I suppose providing he's here all season, I've gone Mark Gay.
Okay. Albert?
I've gone young Adam Wharton.
Yeah. I think he's going to be in the mix, isn't he?
I've gone Dean Henderson.
Solid choice.
Considering we're keeping 15 clean sheets.
Yeah, true.
It's going to be up there. Okay. Now let's get into outrageous predictions.
I can't believe we've not had that already.
There's been a few. Jesus. I could just say I found it really hard not to put Eze down for at least one of these things.
Yeah. Why am I still putting Wilf Player of the Year?
My thumbs just started writing. I was like, stop that.
Great pass to Martinelli and for that goal against City from him.
Yeah, but then he got dropped.
He
that
got
was
dropped
the previous
before
game.
it,
Yeah.
It came on at half time. Shit. There was, a lot of Arsenal fans have basically been like, we need to be thinking about how we build the team around him, which didn't take them long to realise that, but there you go. I'll kick us off because mine's it is outrageous, but it's not as outrageous as Fulf. But Glasner signs a new contract.
Oh my God, what I'd give for
I have no inside knowledge or anything like that. That is just pure outrageous on a wing and a prayer.
Winging it prayer.
There you go.
Yeah.
I've got a similar one, actually. Mine also starts with the word Glasner. Let's put it that way. I've got Glasner wins Europa League.
Wins Europa League?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
Oliver Glasner wins the Europa League.
So he's leaving us to a team in the Europa League. If it's Nottingham Forest, Albert, and this happens, we're coming for you. Wow. Fucking hell. I hope that doesn't happen.
So mine's similar to Terence. He does sign a new contract.
But with a new club.
With a team in the Europa League.
Yeah, great.
I just can't see that. When he leaves us, he's going somewhere big.
Can I just say, whilst we're on it, before Hesketh's, I had a tour around my eldest son's new secondary school today. At the weekend, but was looking for the junior school for my youngest son. We were on a tour with another guy. Bernie had his Palace up on, and this guy went, "Oh, were you a Crystal Palace fan?" He went, "Yeah." He went, "Oh, my cousin was with Steve Parish this weekend. They know each other through business, and look, he had a picture of the FA Cup. Look, the picture." I said, "Oh, great, yeah." Showed him my picture of me with the FA Cup, and he said, "Oh, yeah, great. You're doing really well. Great team." I said, "Yeah, really good." He said, "Oh, fantastic manager." I said, "Yeah, great manager." He said, "Oh, I don't think he'll be there much longer though." And I was like, "Well, I've literally met this guy for 8 seconds, and we're here." And I was like, "Well, no, I don't think so. I think he'll be around. Listen, I'm sure we'll face competition for him in the summer." But he went, "Yeah, I don't think he'll be there." I thought, we'll see. I think he's going to go pretty soon." And I was a bit like, just a bit like, "Do you want to shut up? Do you want to fuck off?" Like, instant turn off this bloke. And I said, "Oh, who's your team?" Then he went, "Oh, well, I'm a United fan." I was like, "Right, wishful thinking."
Fuck off.
Fuck off.
I don't think he's going to be here this long. Fuck off as Albert gets his notes on his phone out to write his outrageous prediction.
This is
like not in the Europa League.
It's just like when you talk to a stranger on public transport and they want to start talking about stopping the boats within the third sentence, and you're just like, fuck's sake.
Yeah.
Go on then, what's your outrageous prediction? Skip.
My real outrageous prediction, because obviously I'm so miserable, is I think we're going to do a cup double. Not including the Community Shield. I think we're going to win 2 cups this year.
That
could be the League Cup and the FA Cup. That could be the League Cup and the Conference League.
Wow.
2 of those 3. I don't think we're going to win the league. My other one, if that's a bit weird, because it's just weird hearing me be positive, is Tyrick Mitchell is going to score for England this season. We can have that in brackets because that's just me on a high after seeing him Zidane it against West Ham.
Is it a volley at the far post?
Is he? Scores for England, scores the winner in the World Cup final for England would be.
Yeah, keeping it casual.
Wasn't that similar to your one last year? Didn't you say Mitchell and?
I said Mitchell and Henderson were playing the same England team together.
Mm. Yeah.
Justice for Ty.
Justice for Ty. Okay. They are duly noted. We will look back upon them at the end of the season and praise what a genius I am for predicting Champions League football. Along with a cup double. And then laugh at Albert for his Glasner winning the Europa League. Hopefully.
You're right.
Yes. Right, so that's it for this week. Thanks, lads. We will be back same time next week.
Mm-hmm.
Here we go. So we'll be talking about quite a lot. We'll be talking about Liverpool and looking ahead
about
to Dynamo Kiev. Wow.
That's weird, isn't it?
Yeah. I mean, next Wednesday, we're all getting on flights to Poland.
Yeah.
For a Palace in Europe.
Thursday for me.
Mm. Yeah.
But point taken.
Yeah, fine.
Yeah. If anyone's out in Hesketh on the Wednesday night, let me know.
On the socials.
On the socials. Get in contact.
Because me and Albert aren't, so...
For anyone listening in Hesketh, coming to see you.
Yeah, paint Hesketh red and blue on Wednesday, yeah. And then, obviously, microphones will be in hand. So, if you see me, you want to come and have a chat, appear on the Conference League Chronicles pod, you are welcome. And, look forward to seeing you out there. And mental. Absolutely mental. So, thank you, Hesketh. Thanks, Albert. Thanks for listening. And until next time, up the Palace.
Only Boost Mobile.
Boost Mobile.
We'll give you a free year of service.
Free year?
When you buy a new 5G phone.
New 5G phone?
Enough.
But I'm your hype man. When you purchase an eligible device, you get $25 off every month for 12 months with credits totaling 1 year of free service. Taxes extra for the device and service plan. Online only.
Want to get your hands dirty for a good cause? Volunteer with Gardeneers and help support students in Chicago's South and West Side schools as they learn to grow fresh food, care for gardens, and build healthier futures. No gardening experience needed. Just your time, energy, and a desire to help local youth thrive. Best of all, you'll be making a direct impact where it matters most. Sign up to volunteer today at Gardeneers.org.